Scene script. Are we on the brink of an electric vehicle revolution, or is it just a mirage? In the last decade, we've witnessed a remarkable surge in the adoption of electric vehicles globally. From being virtually unheard of, electric cars have gone mainstream. Cities across the globe are humming with the silent whir of electric motors, as more and more drivers make the switch from gasoline to electric power. Electric vehicles, or EVs as they're popularly known, are more than just a green alternative. They represent a fundamental shift in our transportation paradigm. With their zero tailpipe emissions, they promise a cleaner, healthier future, free from the smog and pollution that have become synonymous with our urban landscapes. That's not all, they're also incredibly energy efficient. An electric vehicle can travel much further on a unit of energy than a conventional car can on a unit of fuel, but the rapid growth of the electric vehicle market hasn't happened in a vacuum. It's been spurred on by a combination of technological advancements, market dynamics, and crucially, government incentives. Governments around the world have recognized the potential of electric vehicles in combating climate change and improving air quality. To that end, they have implemented a range of incentives to encourage their adoption, from direct subsidies that lower the purchase price of electric vehicles, to tax credits, to exemptions from congestion charges and parking fees. These incentives have played a major role in making electric vehicles an attractive proposition for consumers. They've not only reduced the upfront cost of electric vehicles, but also their total cost of ownership, making them competitive with, and in some cases even cheaper than, their gasoline counterparts. However, the extent and nature of these incentives vary widely from country to country, reflecting differing national priorities and circumstances. Some countries like Norway have embraced electric vehicles wholeheartedly, implementing generous incentives that have led to electric vehicles dominating new car sales. Others, like China, have used a mix of carrots and sticks to drive the adoption of electric vehicles. But how exactly have government incentives influenced the adoption of electric vehicles? Let's delve deeper into this. Before we dive into our case studies, let's pause for a moment to better understand the role of government incentives in the electric vehicle revolution. You see, government incentives are crucial for the growth of the EV market. They help reduce the cost barrier, making EVs more affordable for the average consumer. But that's not all. Governments also play a vital role in creating a conducive environment for the adoption of EVs. This can range from developing charging infrastructure to promoting research and development in EV technology. For instance, a government might offer financial incentives such as tax breaks or subsidies to reduce the purchase price of EVs. They may also provide non-monetary incentives like access to carpool lanes, free parking, or exemptions from emission testing. These incentives not only make owning an EV more appealing, but also send a clear message about the government's commitment to sustainable transportation. On the other hand, governments can also invest in infrastructure development, like charging stations, to make owning an EV more convenient. After all, what good is an electric car if you can't charge it easily? Moreover, governments can also invest in public education campaigns to raise awareness about the benefits of EVs and dispel common myths and misconceptions. Finally, governments can also play a pivotal role in fostering innovation in the EV sector. This might involve funding research and development initiatives, facilitating collaborations between industry and academia, or implementing policies that encourage competition in the market. In the following scenes, we will take a closer look at how different countries have implemented these strategies to drive the adoption of electric vehicles. Stay tuned. Take Norway, for example, where electric vehicles make up over half of all new car sales. It's a remarkable feat, isn't it? But how did this Nordic nation achieve such a high adoption rate for electric vehicles? The answer lies in the combination of several government incentives. Firstly, Norway offers significant tax breaks for electric vehicle buyers. Unlike conventional cars, electric vehicles in Norway are exempt from the hefty import tax, the value-added tax, and the annual road tax. These tax breaks make the price tag of an electric vehicle much more appealing to the average Norwegian, essentially leveling the playing field between electric and conventional vehicles. But the incentives don't stop at tax breaks. Electric vehicle owners in Norway also enjoy a range of other perks, such as free parking in city centers and free charging at public charging stations. Imagine the convenience of driving into a bustling city, finding a parking spot right away, and not having to pay a dime for it. All while your car charges for free. It's no wonder Norwegians are choosing electric vehicles over their gasoline-guzzling counterparts. But the Norwegian government didn't just make owning an electric vehicle more affordable and convenient, they also invested heavily in infrastructure that supports the use of electric vehicles. The country now has one of the highest densities of charging stations in the world, meaning that electric vehicle owners never have to worry about running out of juice on their journeys. So, what can other countries learn from Norway's success? Well, they can start by acknowledging that government incentives play a crucial role in promoting the adoption of electric vehicles. These incentives not only make electric vehicles more affordable, but they also make owning and operating them more convenient. Clearly, Norway's aggressive incentives have played a significant role in its electric vehicle revolution. With over half of all new car sales being electric, it's safe to say that the Norwegian government's approach is working, and it might just be the blueprint other countries need to kickstart their own electric vehicle revolution. Meanwhile, in China, the world's largest auto market, a different approach has been taken. China's electric vehicle revolution has been largely driven by government policy, with a keen focus on subsidies and quotas for manufacturers. Let's delve into this a bit. The Chinese government has been offering subsidies to both manufacturers and purchasers of electric vehicles. These subsidies have been substantial, often reducing the price of electric cars by up to 50%. This has certainly made electric vehicles an attractive proposition for Chinese consumers, spurring the growth of the market. But it's not just about subsidies. China has also implemented a quota system for manufacturers. This means that a certain portion of a manufacturer's production must be electric vehicles. This quota system has been a powerful motivator for manufacturers, pushing them to innovate and increase their production of electric vehicles. But that's not all. China has also been building up its charging infrastructure at a rapid pace. This has helped to alleviate the range anxiety that many potential electric vehicle buyers might have, making electric vehicles a more practical and convenient option. However, implementing these policies has not been without challenges. The rapid growth of the electric vehicle market has led to concerns about the quality and safety of electric vehicles. Additionally, the government's heavy reliance on subsidies has raised questions about the sustainability of this approach. Can the market continue to grow once these subsidies are phased out? Despite these challenges, China's approach has been largely successful. The country now boasts the largest electric vehicle market in the world, with millions of electric vehicles on the road. This growth has been driven not just by government policy, but also by the efforts of Chinese manufacturers, who have embraced the electric vehicle revolution with open arms. In conclusion, China's experience shows that government incentives can play a crucial role in promoting electric vehicle adoption. Despite some challenges, China's approach has undeniably spurred the growth of its electric vehicle market. Across the Pacific in the United States, the government has also played a role in promoting electric vehicles. The federal government has wielded the power of the purse to encourage Americans to go electric. The cornerstone of this approach has been the federal tax credit for electric vehicles, a significant financial incentive that effectively reduces the purchase price. This credit, which can be as high as $7,500, has been instrumental in making electric vehicles more affordable for the average American. It's a simple yet powerful tool. The more electric cars people buy, the more they save on taxes. This incentive has undeniably influenced adoption rates, driving more and more Americans to choose electric over traditional gas-powered cars. However, it's not just the federal government that's pushing for electric. Various states have implemented their own incentives, creating a fascinating patchwork of electric vehicle adoption across the country. In California, for instance, the state offers additional rebates on top of the federal tax credit, making electric vehicles even more affordable. On the other hand, states like Alabama and Wyoming offer no additional incentives, leading to lower adoption rates. It's clear that where you live in the U.S. can greatly influence your decision to go electric. This patchwork approach has led to a sort of electric vehicle divide, with some states far outpacing others in adoption rates. Yet, despite these efforts, the United States still lags behind other countries in electric vehicle adoption. While the federal tax credit and state-level incentives have certainly helped, they've not been enough to catapult the U.S. to the top of the electric vehicle revolution. There's a clear need for the U.S. to ramp up its efforts, to innovate, and to find new ways to encourage Americans to go electric. While the U.S. has made strides in promoting electric vehicles, it still has some catching up to do. So what can we glean from these case studies? Well, the first and most important takeaway is the pivotal role that government incentives play in accelerating the adoption of electric vehicles. These incentives, which often come in the form of tax breaks, subsidies, or preferential policies, are instrumental in making electric vehicles an attractive and viable option for consumers. Looking at Norway, we see a country that has successfully become a world leader in electric vehicle adoption. This was achieved through a comprehensive suite of incentives, including exemptions from purchase taxes, reductions in road tolls, and access to bus lanes. These measures, coupled with a strong commitment to renewable energy, have made electric vehicles a natural choice for Norwegians. In contrast, China has taken a different approach, focusing on the supply side. By providing generous subsidies to electric vehicle manufacturers and implementing stringent emission standards, China has spurred a rapid growth in the domestic production of electric vehicles. This strategy has not only boosted the adoption of electric vehicles within China, but also positioned the country as a major player in the global electric vehicle market. Meanwhile, the United States has adopted a hybrid approach, offering incentives to both manufacturers and consumers. However, the inconsistency in policy across different states and the uncertainty surrounding the future of federal tax credits have somewhat hindered the growth of the electric vehicle market in the country. These diverse approaches underscore the fact that there is no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to promoting electric vehicle adoption. Different countries have different needs, resources, and policy priorities, and their strategies must be tailored accordingly. However, what is indisputable is the importance of continued government support in this area. As we've seen, government incentives can significantly drive down the cost of electric vehicles, encourage technological innovation, and ultimately, catalyze a shift towards cleaner, more sustainable transportation. It is clear that government incentives play a crucial role in the electric vehicle revolution. As we move forward, it will be interesting to see how different countries continue to use these tools to promote clean, sustainable transportation.